Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing on my surf wagon build. So in the last video I mentioned that I cut the roof open to put in a sunroof. Well, I got around to it and painted the body up. And here's how it's looking so far. Now the colors I was using is some Rust-Oleum Gold, as well as some Tamiya TS50 Inca Blue, which I think looks really good as a color combo. Then on the roof here, I added a spoiler, since if you're going to have a sport wagon, you gotta have a spoiler of some sort. Then on the front, went with the custom front end. So pretty much got most of the body done. Just need to do the chrome trim. And then got the chassis pretty much done. There's not a whole lot to it. Still need to detail the underside. Then I took the front bumper that would have had the stock front grille molded in as one piece. So I trimmed that off. Keep the bumper. So then when the car will go back together, it'll be something like this. So I pretty much been just keep that on the chassis. And then in the kit it had some chrome Craggers, but I figured to match up with the paint job, I figured just to paint these in the same gold, which I think looked really nice. So I'm happy how this turned out. Then as well, use the white walls. So there's that. Then on the hood here, have it painted with blue side stripes. Now originally there was the insert, and there was a hood scoop that I was originally going to use, but I figured I want to use that on another project or not, so I just kept it off. But when I was painting, the indentations on the underside ended up showing through, which I really wasn't fond of. So what I pretty much did was cut the hood open and put a piece of extra glass I've had, just carve it to size, and then fit it inside. So not only am I going to be having a sunroof on the car, but I'm also going to be having a skylight window for the hood to see into the engine. And speaking with that, been doing a little bit of work on it. Still have to paint it up, but one thing that I really wanted to try was doing some wiring, as I haven't done that before. So I have some wire tubes glued into place for me to adjust and install into the engine. So that's going to be a task to do. And then it'll be a case of paint up the transmission, oil pan, filter, and starter. And that will pretty much be the engine. And then got the interior here that I did up in a light chocolate brown to represent leather. And as you can see, I did use some fleece material and sprinkled it all on in the inside. So everything on the floor is glued down, and pretty much been a case of cleaning up the inside to get some of the residue off. And then I'll probably do it on the back. The one thing I have found is that I would have been better just painting on the floor instead of just using this, as I'm not entirely sure if I like it or not, but it's probably going to end up staying. And then on the floor, I was originally going to just paint this over in a different color, but because there's the injection pins, I wasn't really fond of that. So what I ended up doing is using some toothpicks and matchsticks and popsicle sticks, I mean. I have made a little bit of a template of a floor. So this will just fit in like so. And then the good thing with this, I'm not too concerned about the sharp edges, as when I put on the back seat, it'll be able to cover it up, which will make the interior look really nice. And then messing around a little bit more, I have a few pieces here that I'm going to be using to make a shelf unit that'll go over top, that'll sit over top the wheel arch and just make it look more, just to clean up the overall look. So yeah, that does make it easier instead of trying to find some pieces that will fit in between the wheel well and the boards. So there's that I'm really glad that I started doing. So I'm probably going to get see if I can find some wood stain that I have, stain these into like a dark hardwood flooring. So then pretty much have where you can see the flooring from the outside. And I did cut the back, and then for the glass that came with the kit, I cut the back window, ended up cutting the back window out. So what I'm going to be doing is with the surfboards, they're just going to slide right on through. Or here's the smaller one. So it'll just fit in through the back window, or can have it on the top. Then speaking of which, with the roof rack, now with the kit, there's some boards that are used to represent wood. But what I decided to do is take some stir sticks, trim them down to size, and pretty much use these instead since they're already done. So then it's just a case of just lining them up, glue them onto the car, and then pretty much have it to keep the surfboard on top. Where did I put the other one? Oh, yes, here it is. So we got both roof racks done. Just need to be glued in place. So then the surfboard can be on top, like so. Then, of course, when it comes time to put all the last few bits together, it'll probably end up adjusting the rails to where they'll look the best. So yeah. Then I do have a few of the decals, which I am planning to use. So here we got the wood grain trim that I'm planning on putting along the side, on both sides. And then out of the Buick kit, I have some hood and roof graphics that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be having these sit because with the angle on the hood, it fits up fairly similar, so those will look nice on here. Then of course with the center, I'm going to have to trim the decal in order to go over the into the hood cover. So there's that. And then of course on the roof, because it's much smaller, I'm going to have to set this down and then assess where I'll have to trim, because I could try to go from underneath, but there's the chance stuff might get shuffled around. So I'm going to leave that off for now. And then it'll pretty much be a case of using the other decals from the kit, customize the interior. And And yeah, and that'll probably be getting close to, and so then I'll probably be doing a full showcase on the car when it's completely done. So that'll probably do it for this video, and next video up will probably continue working on this and then showing off what I've done with the graphics, getting everything set up, getting everything all done, cleaned up, and yeah, who knows, might start another project soon. At the moment, not sure what, but pretty much I'll finish this when I still can and work on another project later. Okay, so that'll be it for this video, and until next time, see ya.